Good evening, everyone. Whoops. Good evening, everyone. I hit the wrong button there for a second. Welcome to the MYBC Virtual Bookstore Authors Series, coming to you live on the MYBC Facebook business page. And I'm super duper excited. This author session together has been in the works for about 3 months. And it's a topic that those of you that are out there know is near and dear to my heart and Kathy Fester's heart. First of all, let's give a shout out to Kathy Fester, the co-founder, along with me, of the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit, who connected us up. And randomly in the mail, I received Ida Jean's books. So welcome, Ida Jean.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. It's such a pleasure.
Do you go by IJ or Ida Jean? Because I want to make sure I be respectful.
Well, Ida Jean is my first name and it's my formal name, and in formal settings, I do have a middle name in addition. However, the whole world practically calls me IJ, so feel free.
IJ? Okay.
Yes.
It's like my sister. She's got a very difficult last name to say. And first name. Her name is Cheryl Ann, but it's spelled very differently, and her last name's Kuipers. So she's known around the professional world as CK. Like Miss CK, she's an international school teacher. So I like initials, and I can appreciate that and want to show respect. So IJ, where are you in this beautiful planet called Earth?
Beautiful British Columbia, practically as far west as you can get. Not exact, the very farthest west, but in Victoria on Vancouver Island.
So prior to writing your book, what is your background? Because we're going to get into this book because it's little, but it's mighty.
Thanks. I'll always say I'm from Saskatchewan. Born and raised, small town, first several years on a farm and then small town, and university in Saskatoon, first 15 years of my work life in Regina, and then 17 years of work life in Calgary, Alberta. And now in my transition to my own retirement, have spent the last almost eight years in Victoria. And certainly along the way, got a couple of university degrees and lots of different experience, but found where I needed to be from the beginning, which was facilitating workshops and delivering conference sessions, because I'd been public speaking since before I knew I was supposed to be afraid of it when I was a kid in 4-H.
Okay.
And then had the opportunity to get into retirement life planning. So not helping people get their finances in order, but helping people figure out what's it all about when you have earned the ability to make the choice to leave the workaday world. Because I think it is all about choice, and what retirement looks like for each and every one is different. And as I say, for me, my retirement, my way is all about this book that I got over the finish line in 2020, and complimentary, if you will, TEDx talk that I did in December of 2021. And for the future, all I really want to do is spread the power of gratitude and connect with people like you and Kathy and your listeners and anyone and everyone who's out there who either is already doing it and just wants to be part of that community, or get reacquainted, or have a little reminder, or get a new idea, or all those kinds of things. So yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take on a little bit of back history or her story about the book. is you said you published it in 2020. What a great accomplishment with what was going on in 2020. What a gift to come out of 2020.
Yeah.
So let's take a bit of that backstory of I want to write this book. And when I posted earlier about it's a lofty topic, and when Kathy and I decided to do the Gratitude and Appreciation Summits, we kind of sparked in early 2019. It's a topic that it's very difficult to admit you need new skills. Or it's very difficult to kind of go, I'm going to go to a summit and listen to a bunch of people talk about appreciation and how to be grateful. Of course I'm that. So with that being said, why take pen to paper, and what was the journey in the time frame of the journey before you went, first book in my hand, oh my gosh, I've written this incredible, like I said, mighty topic in a little tiny book?
Thanks. And it really was a journey. There's no doubt about that. And I'll try to make a pretty long story short.
We have till 7:30. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. I was in corporate human resources in Calgary. I made a choice and resigned and struck out on my own to start a workshop company. And at the same time, I learned about the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. And it actually took me a little while till they had a fast track program. I joined that, and then I became a member. But as soon as that happened, the buzz, if you will, was, as a professional speaker, if you really want to be an authority, if you really want to be an expert, if you really want to have the privilege of the platform, you need to write a book. And so that was in about 2008. And I'm okay. I don't have a book in me. I didn't think I thought maybe a chapter. And so I thought about getting involved in one of the anthology books that I knew about and things like that, but it just timing and didn't work out. And but I had another CAPS professional speaker colleague who was a book coach. And he was in Calgary and he was having a workshop, and wouldn't it be good if I came? I said, but I don't think I have all, and he said, no, just come, and so I did go. And by the end of the 3-day weekend workshop, I knew I had a book in me. However, even then, and that was 2013.
Okay.
So, I've been thinking about it. I knew I didn't want to write a life planning book because I was working with one of my mentors. I was licensed to deliver her program. She was writing a book, so I helped her write Retire to the Life You Love. So I didn't want to compete with that. But after the end of this book writing workshop, I realized that my mom's life was so remarkable that there was enough in terms of her adversities that she faced, the adventures that she embraced, that would be, she was my role model. And I believe she could be an inspiration to others. But at first, I thought it was all about positive thinking and positive mindset. And back to my book writing coach, he asked the very best question. And his question was, how did she do it?
Ooh.
How did she do it? Because it's one thing for someone to, and absolutely, we can be inspired. by those stories and those illustrations. And that's what I did in the book, is I took each chapter and I wrote up either one of the times that was terrible in her life or one of the times that was terrific in her life. But at the end of the chapter, and at the end of, you know, my thinking about it was, so what was it that allowed her to face that, decide that she could get through it? And again, at first it was, you know, what made her, how could she be? And it took me another 5 years, because it was maybe 2018, well, no, it was 2016, 2017, when I knew that, okay, it was about gratitude. And I knew that by that time I started to read everything I could find about gratitude. And as you know, there are lots of books about gratitude.
Absolutely.
And it's like, why would anyone read this one? And I believe it's because it's all about the fact that it is something we can learn. And it's something that if we break it down and make it as simple. I mean, my mom didn't practice gratitude the way we talk about it. So she was born in 1921. That was not in her lexicon. So it wasn't like you could, oh yeah, mom, this is how mom did. No, so that wasn't going to work. But the thankful mindset, the ability to stop and think and look for something good, even the tiniest little thing, to then hang on to that and be thankful for that, and to get strength and confidence and courage to go on. And one thing led to another till I realized that at the end of her life, when she was 89, she could look back over her whole life, and yes, did she have regrets? Absolutely. But did she feel free of them because she had taken as much control as she could and she had handled them the best that she could? Absolutely. And isn't that what we all want?
Yes, yes. Oh, there's so much there to unpack. And I think at this particular time, if you want to grab a copy of your book, and I know you have some there, I love for the authors to read the back of their book.
Okay.
Because we can take a look, and this is a fantastic cover, The Grateful Way, and this is you in your little convertible, which is like fantastic. Is it your mom?
It's my mom.
Oh, it's your mom. You know, when you would pick the book up and says, feel free from regret and small steps, and then, you know, your fabulous mom. And I would pick the book up and go, oh, that's kind of cool. And I'm encouraging people to flip the darn tootin' book over and pick it up and read the story. And what's so powerful about this is it's in your words, coming from your books, in your voice and inflection. So at this time, I'd love for you to read the back of your book.
Oh, thank you, Jeanette. All right. Would you like to feel free from regret? What if you could learn how to right now? True stories and practical tips in this short, sweet book will show you the way. The author's mom lived through more than her fair share of trials, such as the farmhouse burning down. Doesn't say this on the back, but on Christmas Day,
oh my gosh,
when her husband was terminally ill. Without warning, her 37-year-old son dying of a heart attack and waking up in an Arizona hospital after suffering a stroke. When challenged by any one of these tragedies, many might give up. But each time Bernice Thomas Hannison Neal stared adversity in the face, she found something to be thankful for, which paved the way to move forward. And when opportunities appeared, Bernice chose to make the most of them, truly appreciating experiences like starting to paint beautiful works of art at age 61, enjoying a fabulous European adventure with me at age 64, and becoming a calendar girl in her 80s. That's her at the wheel on the cover of this book. And she was in a calendar in the convertible.
Okay, I know calendar girls don't normally wear clothes.
Well, they had very little, and they were strategic about it because they were all in their 80s and 90s. And in fact, I think even one of them was 100.
That's fabulous. And when I read that, I'm like, your mom was naked in a calendar?
Well, the suggestion was there. And in one of the calendars, she was in top hat and tails. So it was just kind of fun. But the whole concept was to do something for charity that was unexpected by a group of seniors, if you will.
Yes.
Yes. At age 89, despite the terrible times, given the terrific ones, and due to her thankful outlook, this remarkable woman passed away, believing she was fortunate and genuinely feeling regret-free. This inspirational memoir and how-to self-care book reveals if she could do it, so can you, by choosing to live the grateful way.
And I'm going to read the last. It's like, thanks to her mom's example, gratitude aficionado, speaker and writer Ida Jean McIntyre uncovered how the power of gratitude has impacted her own triumphs, struggles, and regrets. She created 3 simple steps of THX, as well as 10 ways to express gratitude as simple guides to living gratefully. IJ invites you to nurture your own grateful attitude by applying insights you'll find inside this book and at thegratefulway.ca to your life. So many amazing things in there to unpack. And we're going to start with the last one. THX. What the heck are those initials?
Well, and of course, if you just put it together, it's a short form for thanks.
Absolutely.
The T is all about taking time. And we really do just have to take time every once in a while. And in my TEDx talk, I talk about how I didn't take time to make a phone call, and I regretted it. And it took years to figure out how to deal with that and to feel free from that regret. But if we do carve out, and I get back to practicing gratitude, that's the essence of making it important enough to take a little bit of time. Doesn't have to be every day. It can be, but it doesn't have to be one size fits all. But the T is all about take time. The H is about highlighting the positive.
Ooh.
So it's not about toxic positivity. It's not about, reframing everything like, oh yes, this is awful, but it's really good. It's about finding the little bit of positive in even the darkest cloud. And, one of my best examples is my mom. That Christmas day, when the love of her life, my dad, was dying of cancer, the family was home. We knew it was our last Christmas. And we woke up Christmas morning and the house was on fire. My mom was not grateful in the moment. My mom was beside herself in terms of devastation and not understanding why one more awful thing was happening. But in not too long of time passing, several things happened that allowed my mom to look back and be tremendously grateful. The square dance friends, my mom and dad in rural Saskatchewan in the 40s, 50s, 60s were great square dancers. And in those days, we didn't have the kind of house insurance that we do now. So the square dance friends wanted to do something to help. So the deepest, darkest, coldest winter Saskatchewan night, January, they came from 4 corners of the province to support the family. And as it turned out, it allowed my dad to say goodbye to his friends.
Oh, I just got chill. It just, I need you to pause there just for a second.
Yes.
And I want you, all you out there watching or watching this on the replay, or when I download the video up on Instagram and putting it over on YouTube and stuff, I want you all just to pause there for a second and to receive that moment of joy that was created out of tragedy and devastation, that your father got to, I believe in heaven, go off to heaven, having said goodbye, for your mom to see him in that moment, for people to come in under the guise they were coming to help you as a family, wherein in fact they were bringing their heart to say goodbye and not hello. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. I got you. I'm telling you, IJ, as soon as you said that, it was just like, I could picture it in my head, because I might have my niece and nephew one lives just outside of Saskatoon and the other one lives in Regina. And I could feel, because it's so flat in Saskatchewan, the people coming from the 4 corners, because basically it's a 4-cornered province, coming to your dad. And that, what a beautiful thing to be grateful for.
And what a blessing, because those same people came to his funeral in May, but had that fire not happened, they would not have come in January.
Yeah.
So it was the very shiniest silver little bit of lining.
I'm going to say golden. It went above silver. It
or
went to
platinum.
Golden. Yes.
Yes. In a very dark cloud.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the X, what does the X stand for?
And the X is all about express. So express gratitude, because it's back to, as you and many who will be listening well know, gratitude is a gift that, yes, we can enjoy the benefits ourselves, but we can enhance or multiply those benefits, not just for ourselves, but also for others. If we express, we give the gift. And so it's all about taking a little bit of time, the T, highlighting the little bit of positive, and expressing the gratitude. So my mom, of course, wrote notes to all those great answers. She also wrote, in those days, all the different Saskatchewan newspapers, and they had the little notes of thanks. And I have one of those from our own hometown newspaper in the scrapbook. And it, again, that little bit of joy was such a tremendous gift in the circumstances.
I'm going to, right off the top of my head, come up with an idea for you.
Okay.
I will buy a roll of them. Is if I run my calendar on my phone, but I'm a paper daytimer person. And I would like a sticker that says THX on it, that I could kind of put at the top of each one of my pages. 365, I'll buy a roll of 365 with your beautiful colors on it.
Yes.
With your mom's head in the sticker.
Yes.
That I would do kind of that reminder, because we get so busy in our lives, in the tying up of, the internet going down, power going out, all the crazy stuff that happens to us, that we forget to THX. We forget to THX, and having that little reminder, looking down at your calendar going, oh yeah, okay, who am I taking the time? Oh yeah, where am I going to highlight the positive, and how am I going to express it today? How am I going to express it today? And even for yourself too, because it's part of the whole self-care, is, have I THX'd myself today? Or even I can see going one further, putting THX and going, okay, Sunday's about myself, Monday I'm going to do this person, Wednesday, giving that planning. And that's what Randy McNeely, who is the chief kindness engineer officer, just a really kind guy. And he says, you have to be intentful. And that's how we make things. And when you said about practice, that's the practice, is making it intentful, to always kind of looking up, go, THX. Oh yeah, that's what I need to do today. I need to make sure that it's on my to-do list, connected with my heart, so it comes across authentically as well. So just absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely. And I'd be delighted to follow up with that wonderful idea. So
I would just love it.
Yes.
To look down, it's a grateful way, THX. Oh yeah, that's the way. And just absolutely a love of that. So at this time, I'd like to ask you, name 3 people that you think this would be a good gift for.
3 people.
Yeah, who do you think would be gifted this book and it would just kind of land really well for them?
So personas, if you will, people. And I think that there are at least 3 different people. One is a person who's already gratitude practice, full on believer, and may think they know it all. Ooh. However, they also may either just, because often, if depending on where we are in our own lives, and we read something, or it might even be an idea we've heard before, but this time it sticks, or it reminds us that, oh yes, I do need to, or I want to, and it allows, again, almost a refreshing and especially because I tried to make it short and sweet and readable, so that people wouldn't get a copy either as a gift or for themselves and then think, oh, I'll get around to it. So just pick it up, read one chapter even at a time, and just think of a way to apply it in a new and innovative way, perhaps. So I think it is for people who are already gratitude aficionados like me. I think secondly, it's for people who are struggling because they have experienced a loss, or they're going through a transition, or especially even retirement, or need some inspiration. And so that age or stage where they are thinking about and looking back, but also have the time to be more introspective and maybe want to get their house in order a little bit, maybe are realizing that they have been taking something or someone for granted, and that this would just nudge and or encourage or provide again, some practical tips in addition to the true stories being more inspirational, but there's some practical tips there and an invitation at the end of each chapter to say, so it's your turn to take the wheel. So what do you want to do, if anything? Because it's an invitation. It's an invitation to contemplate and potentially commit. And then I think the third person or individual that might be really a good person to give it to, or might reach out to buy it, is a woman, and it probably really is a woman, who's in a book club and wants to sit down and have a really easy read, but then have a different kind of conversation at a book club than they might typically. And that, again, not encouraging anyone to find themselves in a situation where they're sharing intimate details that they weren't, prepared to, or any of those kinds of things. But again, finding comfort and or ideas from each other, and support, to touch base and say, hey, so who have you thanked lately, and have you committed to your THX, and what's it look like, and those kinds of things. What does gratitude look like, and how can they have that kind of a conversation? And so I did include a page in the book that has some book club conversation starters, because I do believe that there will be some book clubs that it will be a good fit for.
And I can see, I'm a member of a book club, that this being the preface, like we take it in chunks before the big book that we're reading. Is like we take that first 10-15 minutes and do one chapter and talking, and then get into like the heavy book that we're doing, a business book, because what I feel is it's so partners with business, it's so partners if you're reading a book about life, so partners with a health book, so partners along the way. So that is a fantastic idea. I'm also going to say it'd be a great gift to put into, if you're a real estate agent, if you were somebody in hospice as well. Yes. And I would say also a new baby, because what a way to start a journey with your child, with that strong mother-daughter, mother-son relationship. Would be a nice little book. If you're going to say get somebody a gift card and then kind of tuck it in this book. And it is light, so it's not going to be very heavy to mail, but it's really impactful. So I am incredibly grateful that you spent this time with me tonight, IJ. Mighty little book, big topic, easy reading, lots of great conversation that's going to happen out of this. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeanette. It's been fabulous, and looking very forward to many future conversations.
I often forget, and I did this time, that if you have any questions for IJ, please put them in the comments on the Facebook page, or if you're going to watch this on the replay on my YouTube channel, or I take the video, upload it to my IGTV, please put them in the comments. IJ will be very on top of answering any of those questions for you. And afterwards, we will make sure that we put thegratefulway.ca into the comments as well, so you can pick up the books, or a couple of books, and the roll of stickers too. But
absolutely, soon, coming soon, stickers for your books. Or I could even see them on the back of a greeting card and stuff like that. So just amazing. Well, absolutely.
What a beautiful conversation. I just simply love bringing authors to light. I was having a conversation, IJ, with someone this past week. And I feel that as a human being and a faith-based human being, you kind of tithe 10% back to your community, nonprofit, church of service. You need to tithe 10% of your time to your business community, to your creative people. And this is what I do, is making sure that people who have chosen to take their creativity out of their head, put it at the end of their fingers to keyboard, writer, record, to keep this going, because this is what the world needs. We need creative people putting it down on paper and helping us out here. So again, thank you so much.
And you.
Tuck into a book, like I say, go to that bookshelf, pick a book, get some tea, find a quiet corner, take your mind, body, and spirit to someplace you've never been before, all through the power of a book. Thank you, everybody. See you again next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.